So when I left the program the first time, it was, I thought I had the tools I needed. I was like 5 months sober, and things were moving really slow because of COVID here. I'd heard from a buddy of mine that he was like, hey, if you want to come down to Kentucky, I have a job for you. And the pay is great, the benefits are great, the hours kind of suck, but it's all, you're only 24 years old, it's not a big deal. And so I thought to myself, like, yeah, I'll do that. Ended up being, a really great experience in Kentucky for a while I was there. I met a really wonderful woman, and, the job was great, and I did make a lot of money doing it. But then once I lost that job and everything like that, I just went right back to drinking. And so I got to a point where I had paid my rent, like months in advance, and I'm just sitting here by myself, just drinking every day. Gallons of liquor every single day. I'd set my alarm to wake up just before the liquor store opened. In a matter of months, I spent thousands of dollars drinking myself and, to death. I was running out of money, and I was running out of time to stay at, where I was staying. And I was like, man, I need help. And so I called the girl Maxine, who I was dating at the time. And I was like, I really need your help. And she comes in the door, and I hand her a bottle. I said, I need you to pour that out. I need you to just dump that right down the toilet and flush it. And so she does. And I hand her the cup I had just poured out of it. I said, you know what, dump that too. I'm done. I'm not even gonna take one more drink. And she did, and she sat there with me for days while I was sick. And I said, there's gotta be something more to this. I can't do this by myself. And I felt this way before, and I went back to drinking. So I need to do something different. And so we looked into some programs down there in Kentucky. Unfortunately, like none of them really had openings or anything like that. So, I was like, well, I do know one place I can go back that did help me before. And so she helped me scrape together what little money I had left. She called in a favor or two for me, and she got me on a 19-hour bus ride from Kentucky back to Rockford. So when I got here, I met my newborn niece. I stayed with my sister for about 2 days and got to actually meet she'd only about 2 months old at the time, my niece. And so she'd been born with a lot of problems. So she was in the ICU for that first month. And so she was just very, little and fragile. And so I remember meeting her, and I'm thinking to myself, like, man, I love this little girl, and, I love Maxine, and I can't just keep doing this. I can't keep drinking myself stupid. And so I got a hold of some people here at the mission, and I said, hey, I need you to ask Pam if she'll let me come back in the program, if I can even put in an application. And she's like, yeah, of course you can put in an application. It was almost a year to the day from the first time I had showed up here. And I'm back at the door down there. I am homeless again. I have nothing again, pretty much. I'm just telling them, like, I finally had something I really wanted in life. I had my own place. I had a woman I really loved. I was making good money. I was doing things really well. And then my drinking blew it all up. And I was like, I don't want that to happen again. I want to get to a place where when I get those things, I can keep those things. It was a lot different program for me this time around, though. Even knowing what I was getting into, my whole view of this entire thing had changed, because I realized, like, the time I had spent here in the first place was not enough, and I had not done what I needed to do, had not learned what I needed to learn. And so this time around, I've spent a lot more time focusing on those things.
Small events make me hopeful. Everyone loves a big event, a big situation, and a big success, but it brings me joy to see little changes, whether it's in their personality or the way that they work, their work ethic. And it's beautiful to see them grow from when they first get here to when they leave. They are a completely transformed person, and they are the bestest versions of themselves that they've been in a long time. So that gives me hope of tiny moments of success.
I would have to agree, because it's always the small steps that turn into bigger ones. But in order to get the small steps, we have to start first. So I would have to always say small beginnings are better, because it's amazing to watch them go, because when they come in scared, they come in sometimes upset, and they're, all the things. But when they start to make moves, they move in small beginnings, and then it turns into amazing things.
I would say some words that describe my life today: happy, hopeful, loving. Before I came to this place, I was sad all the time. Depression had such a hold on me that I just felt like I could never break free. Like there was always a dark cloud over me, or maybe even I was the dark cloud everywhere I went. I know now that, the things I've been through could help somebody else. I didn't go through everything I went through for nothing.
One thing that I wish people knew about the population that stays here is that They are so talented. Like, they have so many different gifts and abilities that might often be overlooked. But if you give them their moment, it's so beautiful to see them flourish in their talent.
If you are lost and you don't know where to go, and you don't think that anybody in the world cares about you, come to the Rockford Rescue Mission, because this place saves lives. It saved my life, and it could save your life too. I think that'd be the one message I would share with people.